Hey, everybody. How are you doing on this fine Sunday evening? We got some football to talk about. Leagues Cup. I've been watching a few games. I just actually finished watching the Atlanta game. So lots of fun stuff to talk about tonight. Plus, some season ticket information we can go through tonight as well. Plus, Inter Miami got an international spot. So we've got a few topics to talk about tonight. But as always, I don't do this by myself. The question everybody has to ask, where in the world is Uncle Ed? How you doing, Ed?
Downtown Peter Brown. I'm in the car, dude. It's like becoming a tradition at this point.
That's right.
I'm in Kendall somewhere. Wife decided to do her nails. It's been like 2 hours. She's been doing it so far. So I'm like, whatever. I'm just gonna do it from the car again. And here I am.
You know, Ed, you need to have like an Inter Miami shirt or jacket or hat in your car at all times. You need to be ready at all times.
I was
Well,
not
I know you
prepared
don't have any
today.
hats. You told me you're giving away all your hats.
I am an idiot like that because every time somebody comes or I go to Ecuador or somebody comes from Ecuador or family, etc., they always think I'm like Mr. Soccer. They see me with something on, I'm like, oh, that's such a cool hat, and I'm an idiot, and I give my stuff away. But I'm promoting the team.
Yeah, you are. You're getting the word out. So I think we talked about this recently on how many hats, or you don't have any hats. So I went to my closet of hats that I think purchased, because there's also those free bucket hats that they give away, and I don't really count those. Hats that I've
Yeah.
purchased. I think there was, if I remember correctly, there might have been 14.
Wow.
I have a hat problem.
Wow, that's a good problem. Well, I've probably maybe had half of those, but like I said, I keep giving them away, and that's my problem.
Yeah.
T-shirts and shirts, and I would have had a great collection, but I've got this thing about somebody asks me
You're,
for something, I'm like, all
you're
right,
too
fine, okay,
generous.
whatever.
You've got a
I'm
good
too
heart.
generous.
Too
I'm an
generous.
idiot like that. I'm
Well,
an idiot like
speaking of
that.
hats and where you could go buy them, go to Caneswear. Caneswear is where you should go and buy all your Inter Miami gear. And, they've got the messiest wall in all of South Florida. So anything you want with Messi on the back, they've got it. They've got all of, the tchotchkes. You want a bunch of different hats. That's where all my hats come from. They've got mugs. They've got cups. They've got koozies. They've got flags. They've got it all. So go to Caneswear. They're located in Davie, Florida, just south of 595 on University Drive. If that's too far for you to drive, go to caneswear.com. All orders over $99 ship for free. Support a local business. I was talking to them recently, and they're just talking about the struggle of trying to compete against a monster that is Fanatics. So they're in an uphill battle. So support them if you can. And
Peter Brown, the goat of all realtors in South Florida. She's a big Inter Miami fan. She's with the supporters groups and everything. And, she's, if you're going to want to buy something or sell something in South Florida, she's a person to talk to. She's the goat of all realtors. Mia Rodrigues, reach out to her, guys. You can WhatsApp her. She speaks 3 languages. You can't go wrong with Mia Rodrigues, Peter Brown, because she's the GOAT. And she comes out on TV. She's got this show called The American Dream. You too could be on that show if you contact her. If you want to sell your business or your property, she's the one to go to because you might even become famous like she is.
there you
So,
go.
Mia Rodrigues.
There you go. You want to end up on TV? Go buy a house.
Oh, yeah.
It's a small,
That's the one.
small price to pay, but that's one way to do it. All right, so let's see who's in the chat. Say hi to a few people. Chat's a little bit light tonight as far as that I can see, so get active if you're in here. There's a few funny comments. B King is the first person I see tonight. And we'll talk about renewing tickets. Louis Rodrigues is here as well. Another Tio Luis.
Tio Luis. Tio
Patrick
Louis.
is in the house.
Patrick, thanks. Happy birthday to Archer. He invited me to his kid's birthday. 5 years old. I took the grandkids. Well, one of the grandkids, the other one couldn't make it, but we had a great time. So thank you, Patrick.
Nice. Little kids. Welcome, Eric Thomas, everybody's favorite person from New Jersey.
Joyzy.
Good to see Anu Weissman. How are you feeling, Anu? I watched that game. I didn't watch all of it. I watched most of it, though. Attendance was abysmal. Hope that proves the front office that they need to do better. It was a pretty empty. You know, Ed, we had talked about last week that I kind of thought that, from what I had seen at least, the games that were, MLS versus Mexican teams seemed to have pretty good attendance. MLS versus MLS was bad attendance. This game proved what I said was wrong, because at least in Atlanta, they didn't give a damn if it was in a Mexican team, and they did not show up in their being angry, I guess, about choosing League's Cup over Open Cup. So yeah, Anu, sorry about that. However, the game did go to penalties. So, it was 0-0. They, it's not like Atlanta got blown out or anything. Went to penalties. So,
yeah.
One World, One Goal is here as well. What is she saying? Same here, Ed. I give it all away. And yes, got to reorder from Caneswear. So she gives all her gear away as well. Mike V in here. I like what Mike is saying. Uncle Ed streaming from his second job, Uber, since all you people didn't help him out with the season tickets. Shame on you all.
Well, I didn't sell my kidney yet, but that might still happen. So help us out on Patreon, guys.
Yeah, you can for $5. Patreon. Keep this content going. Sport Shorts is here. What is your little icon, Sport Shorts? It's colorful, but I can't tell. Chris Arjun is here. Chris Arjun, I was looking at some of his photography. He was branching out this weekend. I saw some rodeo photography that he was shooting as well. It looked good. I think there was a big rodeo in town
he does everything
past few days. So good stuff. All right. That's it for now. If you want to get a shout out, say hello in the chat as we go. So what do you want to talk about, Ed?
Well, Peter, I don't know if do you want to talk about the game, or do you want to talk a little bit about the season tickets, which are the renewals are, I think if you do it by August 9th, you get like some perks and stuff, I think. How's that work?
Yeah, okay, yeah, we'll start there. So let me pull up the conversation we had here. Where I got the notes. All right, so season tickets are available to renew. And yes, Ed and I will be renewing. But here's the catch. They are going to go up in price. But Ed, okay, before we get into too many details, the price is going up for our tickets. We're in section 115, about $10 per game. Are you upset about that increase?
Well, it's half of a beer, so that does upset me. They don't have $10 beers, so it's still extra money. But parking's still, I think, an issue. Is parking going to go up? That's what I'm worried about.
Yeah, I hope not. But, for me, the way I look at it is $10 more a game. I'm okay with that. The issue I don't have a problem with things going up in price, because they go up in price everywhere except for your paycheck. That's the only thing that doesn't go up.
That's a problem.
Right?
That's a problem.
But you've been to the grocery store lately, everything's more expensive. So my issue was last season when it went up for us, for our tickets, 170%. So, it went up 170% last year, but $10, I don't know what the percentage is. I didn't do the math on the percentage, but $10 a ticket's not terrible. My issue was last season. Last season was a rip. But, so that's a problem. But if you renew early, you're going to get something this time. Not much. Like the benefits for being a season ticket holder, they went down slightly. I think one of the main things that they removed was like a meet and greet option, which, to be honest, I never took advantage of. So I'm not really upset about them removing it, But if you renew by August 9th, you will receive per account concessions credit for Chase Stadium. So, they'll give you a burger, maybe, you're going to get like a few bucks for a burger, maybe, I'm going to guess. But they put some food emojis next to that. So then if you renew by August 9th and pay in full, you'll get an Inter Miami CF member swag bag. Now that's got me intrigued. I like stuff, right? I got a problem with buying stuff. It kind of intrigues me, but I don't know if I can afford to pay up front.
That's a
could dip
problem.
into savings, but I don't want to because I'm probably going to have to get my roof done. So I don't want to dip into savings, right?
Yeah, that's a problem. Yeah, dude. If I could, I'd buy. I'd pay everything straight up. But a fella's got a budget. And it's just not gonna work out. We have to do our payment plan, unfortunately. And the worst thing is I don't have a Chase account, Peter Brown.
And that's
Talk
the
about
last one. Renew at any point before the auto renewal date with a Chase card, and receive a co-branded Inter Miami duffel bag. So, and these all can be stacked. So you can get, like for me, I will renew before August 9th. So I'll get the food credit. You just have to put down whatever, down payment. And then I will get number 3 as well because I do have a Chase card. So I'll use a Chase card for that.
Oh, my wife has one, maybe. But the thing is, the problem is going to be having her to pay it. She's going to want me to send her money or something, which is good and is bad because she might spend it. That's the problem.
I don't know. That's where I'm not getting into anybody's business on how they run their family, but that's where the way I do it in my house is not an issue because it's one bucket. I know a lot of people say, I've got my money, you've got your money, and it works. Okay. So I'm not going to tell anybody they do it wrong. It's how you do it. But the way I do it, it's one bucket. My wife, her debit card and my debit card, they go to the same account. It doesn't matter. But that's just how we do it. And so there is no, she got to pay, I got to pay. It's we pay.
Yeah, I made that boo-boo.
Well, it was a mistake. Like I said, I'm not going to get into that scenario where my way's right. It just works for me. But everybody's got their own thing that works for them. But for me, in this scenario, it might work off better, right? Because there's no worry. But some comments
saying, I hope I signed a prenup.
You don't have. She's like, prenup. Why? You don't have anything.
I don't have anything. What's she gonna take the car?
She's gonna take your Inter Miami hats.
Oh, dude, I don't have any anymore.
Right,
I give
there
them
you
away.
go.
I think I got a bucket hat. There you go.
So talking about some of the conversation. Oh, by the way, Kata is here. He's saying hello. Mike V says, my tickets still went up 14%. They were expensive enough, but they still had to nickel and dime me to death.
Wow.
So Kata is thinking that ours went up 60% increase in 2 years. No, ours went up more. It was 170% increase last year alone. I don't know, again, what $10 more this year is.
It's another little percentage. I know.
It is
I totally forgot to talk to Patrick, who's got VIP tickets. I wonder how much his went up.
Yeah, we don't need to know dollars, but I'm curious in percentage what his percentage of increase was. Mike V is saying his went up from last year 250%. I thought ours was high at 170%. His went up 250%.
Yeah, and he's in a section right just over, more to the center than we are.
Yeah, but a little bit closer down, probably, I think.
Probably.
But I think he has more tickets too. So, that's he bought a good chunk, and yeah, they're getting their money from him. Yeah. Louis Rodrigues is asking for 2025 Apple subscription MLS season. Has it been posted? I don't know exactly what you mean, but you will get access to MLS season pass next year, just like we did this year. That is listed as one of the benefits. So that's good. But it was a real pain in the neck for me to get it this year. But I got it.
Me too.
Eventually.
Me too. It was a pain in the ass because I had subscribed to it before, and
neither one of us got the email.
Yeah, so we had to unsubscribe. Oh, it was a pain in the butt. So
neither one of us got an email, and we didn't want to miss games. So we subscribed pay for at least a month, right? And so, anyways, it all got worked out, sort of. They gave us some money back, but not all of it. And they didn't do it. It was through Apple. Kata is asking, discount if you pay in full. Yeah, I think I'd have to look at the deal. But yeah, when you finance, it is a little bit more expensive. But the difference is, for our tickets, I think it's a little over like $200 per month or something like that. I forget exactly per ticket.
Oh, look, Mike Bay's saying he had 6 tickets. He went down to 4 last year, and he's in section 116.
Oh, okay.
First 5.
I haven't gotten that far yet. I'm still going down the chat.
I had to eliminate one of my tickets because I just couldn't afford it.
Yeah.
And the wife doesn't go that often, so.
Right. So far, I'm feeling like I'm going to keep both of mine, but you and I talked about maybe sharing it, so we'll see.
Yeah.
A new Weissman in Atlanta said it saw a 4% increase on my Atlanta season tickets. 4%'s not terrible. It's better than what we had, but how bad your team has been, I'm sure.
Yeah.
You're not happy. Ash Preetam is saying we should receive 1 meal per game. Yeah, no kidding.
It's the least they could do.
Kata's in there talking about the roof. I mentioned my roof. I had a roof done a few months ago. Man, insurance and trusted contractors tough these days. So here's why I think I might have to get my roof done. I got a notification from my insurance company saying that they need to schedule some inspections on my house, inside the house, outside the house, and the roof. 3 different inspections to make sure that I'm good. I guess they do this every few years. I don't know. It's the first time I've had to go through this since I've owned this house. I mean, obviously I had inspections when I bought the house, but 4 years later, this is the first time. And when I bought the house, they told me, yeah, you got about 6 years on this roof. Well, I'm 4 years down. So I got a feeling they're going to pressure me because that's what insurance companies these days do. They pressure you to replace your roof sometimes early. So,
yeah, that's how it is. But you got to do what you got to do so your house doesn't get destroyed. So,
or just so I can keep it because it seems to be fine. Going through the chat again, Louis changing the topic a little bit. Miami Freedom Stadium currently delayed right now. So, yes and no, because if you think about it, now they're saying, oh, we're not going to play there until 2026. On this channel, we've been saying that for a while. If you watch not this last construction video, but the construction video before that, I mentioned that it would open in December of 2025.
Right.
And I think in the last video, I commented somewhere about, hey, maybe they can open it up a few months before the MLS season. Maybe they have a friendly to work out the operations. I mentioned all that stuff. So if you've been paying attention to what's going on in this channel, it should not come to a surprise. Is it technically delayed? Sure, because they wanted to play 2025 in that stadium. But this is nothing new. We all knew this was happening.
Yeah, when I saw that other people were covering and saying that it was delayed, I was like, dude,
Yeah, I guess what Sports Shorts is saying is accurate. It's official with the stadium that we'll have to wait till 2026. So it was never officially mentioned. We said it, but it was not officially mentioned. But from what we had heard, that was the case. All right. Let's see what else as far as renewals. Atlanta, a new Weissman is saying Atlanta United renewal deadline is tomorrow. It's going to be interesting how many are going to drop. Wow, interesting.
They need to sign somebody or get their team back on, how they used to be. I'm imagining that when Messi leaves, there's going to be probably a drop in the prices, at least a certain percentage, I would think, unless they keep getting superstars or
Yeah, exactly.
But there's nobody like Messi.
Yeah, but they're not dropping.
You don't think? They won't drop it. They'll
prices don't go down.
Right. That's the thing with inflation, man. Also, once the price goes up, it's hard to get it down.
Right.
Yeah.
They'll do, they'll keep the price high, but then if they need to, they'll throw in more incentives. That's all they'll do. Give you I was going to say give you a free jersey. They'll never do that. But something. Anyways, Francisco Garcia says Real Madrid increased their season tickets by an average of 3.6%. You do have to be a shareholder, which is $180 to be able to buy it. So you first have to buy that. But the most costly is around $3,500, including the Champions League. The most costly tickets, $3,500. That's not bad. Okay. Hey, B King is mentioning no discount as they had in the past for paying full payment. Full payment plan is the same. No change in the overall cost for the season tickets. That is interesting because generally, if you finance anything, you will pay more.
Right.
Oh, Mike V talking about my roof. Yes, I have Citizens. I had, so they're saying, basically saying I'm going to have to get a new roof. Tio Lewis asking a question. This show goes wherever you guys want it to go. So, want to keep talking about tickets? We can. Got a question. If you don't go to a game in Inter Miami, you guys can change the tickets for another game like we do here in Chicago. No. So I guess you're saying if you buy a ticket, you can exchange it for another game? No, you go to that game or you don't go to that game. That's interesting.
That's how it is.
Well, also Chicago is, they don't. What kind of crowd does Chicago draw? Every time I see them on TV, it's pretty low.
Yeah, and I think they're playing that big stadium too, so that doesn't help. But yeah, they're not doing too well.
Yeah. Kata's asking, he says, Peter, you live more or less close to Deerfield, correct? How long is the drive to Miami Freedom Park? 45 minutes to an hour and a half. Because one time I went to do the construction video and I was a little sour, maybe because it took me about an hour and a half. On average, 45 minutes. I do live near the highway, so I live close to the turnpike, so I can hop on the turnpike quickly. So for me, it's all highway time because also the new stadium's right off a highway. I forget what highway is it, 112 or I don't remember what highway it is, but it's right off a highway. So it's all highway time. So about 45 minutes. But look, if there's traffic, it could jump up, and that's what happened the day that I went on like a Saturday. Yeah, I think it was a Saturday. It's usually a Saturday. But it was crazy, and I was pretty sour. I think I might have chatted something to Ed, like, you son of a...
Well, get used to it, buddy.
Well, no, but, my issue was, you live in Miami, go do it. But I did it, and I was just, sour that I got stuck in traffic. Because, no, what it ended up happening is there obviously was an accident, and my GPS told me to get off the highway and had me go through local roads, which I guess I didn't have traffic, but I had every single traffic light on the way there, which was slow as, bejesus. So, all right. Parking traffic, everybody's stadium is off 836. Okay, 836. Yeah, I don't know my highways numbers. I put it in the GPS and I just go. 836. All right, thank you. All right. Anyways,
I guess we can start talking about the game, Peter Brown.
So what'd you think about so first off, this was a game we went into, we knew we did not need to win this game, right? So you knew right off the bat they were going to rest some players. I'm surprised they didn't rest more players. Suarez didn't even travel. Busquets came off the bench. Calendar was back, but you still had quite a few of our starters, and I was actually thinking they would put even more reserves. I thought you might see someone like Afonso and Ruiz starting because it matters as far as who you're going to play next. You want to finish in first, but at the end, it still didn't matter, right? Had we put in all subs, it would have still been the same result. We lost. So
I think no matter what, I think the team played well. We dominated for most of it. I thought we would have gotten a better result. We just didn't create, I guess, the chances. Campana had a couple of them. He scored the penalty. I thought he played pretty well. You know, he did great passes. Yeah, we do need somebody to feed him. I think he came back a little bit too much. Uh, but for the most part, the whole team was, you know, I liked, who was it? I think it was Rojas that was doing well. Um, the back line, I think once I saw Christoph at towards the end going in, I was like, no, don't do that. And sure
And
enough, it bit in the butt.
I saw somebody in the chat mentioning, and I agreed with it. I agree with this comment because I felt the same way when watching the game. When we saw Martinez get subbed off for Christoph, Martinez had a great game. I thought Martinez was really good, and he didn't look fatigued. He looked fine. If I was going to take somebody out, I would have taken out Avilés. You know, you could blame him for the first goal, for the goal. The first goal, you could blame him for that, but at the end of the day, you know, I saw chats and people saying, he shouldn't be on the field, blah 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 blah. Let's not take away from how great of a goal that was. That was an impressive goal. Yes, it was a bad clearance by Avilés, but that was a very impressive goal, the way he shot that. So, One World, One Goal says that Martinez was limping. I don't know. I don't know. I didn't see it. Anyways, he looked fine to me.
I agree. I mean, Martinez was playing really well. You know, once like I said, I saw Christoph going. I was like, please, I hope this doesn't come and hurt us. And sure enough, he was too slow. I don't know. He's just off, man. And just whatever.
Kyle says Christoph cannot be part of this team. Too many mistakes. He's just slow. But I don't have a problem with him being for depth and stuff like that, but he is a pricey depth. So, you know, in that case, I get it, you know. Here, Mike V, who is not a fan of Tata, says, the lineup was good. The tactical setup was terrible. Hashtag Tata out is the worst coach in all of the Americas. And putting in Christoph was the dumbest move ever. He was off of being hurt. Martinez limping. Okay, so they noticed Martinez limping. I didn't notice it. But hashtag Tata out. I would disagree. I think Tata's done a great job with his team. You know, we've had so many injuries this year. Is every decision correct? No, but no coach is every decision is not correct. So Here, Francisco says, Tigres' first goal was a pinball creation. Yeah, it was like all bouncing off everybody's head and everything. It was pretty good.
It was a good goal. Yeah, there's nothing. Tigres is one of the top teams in Mexico, and we were in there for a little while. Like I said, we dominated. So I thought, plus we had the stadium was against us because they were playing a local game basically. It was all Tigres fans for the most part, and I think you know, we should have done better. Maybe if we would have had, of course, Messi and Suarez, or at least just Suarez in there, I think we may have been able to score a little bit more. But it is what it is. It was also not that much pressure because we already knew we were advancing no matter what. So I think. You know, it's in the end it didn't matter. I was kind of surprised when Julio had told us on our WhatsApp chat that it didn't matter. We already classified. So I was kind of thrown off a little bit because I was like, wait a second. So it doesn't matter if we win the game or we don't. So I was like, that could be good and it could be bad. So, but let's see. Well, who are we supposed to play against, Peter?
We're either playing Pachuca or Toronto. And you figure, I don't know, I haven't looked up where Pachuca is, but we know how Toronto's not been great. You know, they win some here and there. I watched them, you know, play okay sometimes, but overall, they're just not good lately. So in the last several years. So, you know, you imagine Pachuca's going to win. But you know, anything could happen. I honestly don't know if Pachuca's good this year. You guys in the chat can tell me. I I've watched several Leagues Cup games, but I haven't watched them all. I have not watched. I watched a little bit of, I think it was Pachuca, New York. Is that what it was? I watched a little bit of that game, but not much. It's kind of, sometimes I have them on in the background while I'm doing other stuff. Mike V is saying, selfishly, I want to play Pachuca because it will be a better game, and we play Toronto all the time. That is true. You want to. I think Pachuca is definitely probably going to be the better team. I think they're probably going to win, and we'll be playing Pachuca here in Fort Lauderdale. Over the weekend, I guess.
Yeah, it's going to be over the weekend. Would love to go to the game, but it depends on how much it costs.
Yeah. Pachuca are the CONCACAF champions. So there you go. They're good.
We can always go to the supporters section, Peter, like the good old days.
The problem is, because I already knew that Leagues Cup's going on, and I haven't been buying tickets to Leagues Cup. I already told my wife, yeah, we can go visit my mother, on Saturday. So I've already got plans. I don't know if I may be done with it by the time there's game time, but I definitely will as far as watching it, But as far as being at the stadium, I don't know, because now. Made other plans.
I hear you.
Louis is saying, as far as Pachuca, Pachuca hasn't made a point in Leagues Cup. So they may be good, but they're not playing well in this specific tournament.
So they'll probably have to win to advance.
Mike V is saying, and we talked about this last game, you can get tickets for Leagues Cup for $14. Yeah, but that was, the problem with that was by the time I noticed, we again made plans, because I had already gone into this tournament saying, last year I paid a hefty price to watch these games. I'm not doing it again. I had already kind of made that decision. And by the time, I saw that there were $14 tickets or 17 is what I saw. I know somebody else tweeted 14, but I saw 17. My wife had the car. I had no way to get there.
Well, and another thing, Peter, a lot of people, Messi's hurt, so they know he's not going to play for at least the beginning of the tournament. So there's not that motivation. We saw it in the last game. I think there's 16,000, so there were some empty seats, a lot of empty seats. And I don't think that's going to change until Messi comes back, if he comes back for this tournament.
And it's funny because when you talk about that, people not showing up, and when I read the comments, the comments about the stadium, whether they're on our video or whether it's on social media, on Facebook or whatever, I see people making comments that this team is stupid for building a small stadium. They need to build a 35, 40, 45,000 seat stadium and all that kind of stuff. That's what some people that don't understand this city, that don't understand soccer, specifically in this city, sports in this city are tough. It's a tough sell. And you build a 45,000 seat stadium, it's going to be half empty most of the time. Right. And except for those big games where you might get 45,000, it's going to be half empty. I would rather have a smaller 25,000 seat stadium that's full. And even still, we struggle with filling. Because in the last Leagues Cup, like you said, there was 16,000. So
right. And that's going to look even worse if we're in a 25,000 seat stadium. Right now, ours is 20, 21 almost?
What's that? Oh, yeah, 21. Yeah. What Mike V is saying. We would never fill it if it was that big. Agreed. Kata feels like 30,000 is a sweet spot. I think the number that I've seen was that the build is 25. That's what they're building. It's 25. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. And I think any more than that, Kata might be right. 30 might be good, but I think 25 is better. And if they want to play a big game, maybe they can go play it in another stadium like Hard Rock. If they ever can get that relationship working, Yeah. And Tank is also saying, I don't think they can make it that big because it's next to the airport as well. Yeah, true. But the people that are commenting on social media, they don't know that, right? They don't know that they're not as educated as you guys are. So, Sports shorts. They need to ask the Marlins how stadiums are down here. How's that stadium? It's empty. It's empty all the time.
Crazy.
Kata is mentioning that Nashville has a 30,000 seater. But I think Nashville probably, I don't know, are they a better sports town than South Florida?
Well, they don't. I don't think they have very much, do they? Do they? Do they have an American football team? I don't think they do.
No,
and I think they've got a hockey team, don't they?
I don't know about hockey.
No baseball. So
no baseball.
Soccer's all they've got, maybe.
I don't think they have a basketball team. I don't know. People will comment in the chat if
let us know.
They've got a very healthy music scene. I know that. What, Beale Street or Broadway Street, whatever it is. Here, Mike V. Nashville is a football town, and they have nothing else. So yeah, well, just South Florida is just look at all the
stadiums.
Yeah, well, yeah, just Dolphins games, Marlins games, all the other sports down here that have empty stadiums.
There's just so much to do in South Florida too, man. There's so many options. People go out, restaurants, concerts, and you name it. Everything's down here. So it's part of the weather and where we're at. So it's a tough market for any sport. Yet we have every single sport there is. I don't think there's anything we don't have over here.
As far as baseball, Tank says there are too many baseball games to drive through Miami's traffic. 60 plus for the Marlins. That always trade away their best players. Yeah, Marlins. I think aren't they in the process of doing that now, getting rid of all their good players? I think so. That's what the problem with the Marlins has been from the very beginning. They do well. They have a good season. They win a championship, and they sell off all their players. I mean, that's just been their MO from no matter who the owner is. It seems to always be the same problem. So
they just want to make money. They win the championship, and then the next year they want to make money, more money. That's what it's
those
about.
First 2 years of the Marlins, I went to a lot of games. At the time, my brother-in-law had 2 season tickets, and I was his plus one, like 2-3 times a week. I would go to a lot of games. I didn't go to every game, but I went to a lot, and it was fun. Sports Shorts is saying, yeah, they just traded their best players again a few days ago. So yeah, so that's just kind of their thing. But I've gone. I quite often I'll go to like one baseball game a year, and I have fun. I don't, they may lose, but I have fun. So Ed, different topic, same stuff, but Inter Miami just got an international roster slot. They had to pay, I think it was, if I remember correctly, like 100,000 GAM for it. So they've got a new roster spot. What do you think they're going to do here? I'm pulling up the article. So yeah, they spent $100,000 to the Colorado Rapids that they pay in next year. So they don't have to pay it this year. So the article says they announced today, or this Friday, that it has acquired 2024 international roster slot from Colorado Rapids in exchange for $100,000 in 2025 general allocation money. That's the entire article. What are they going to do with another international spot?
Well, rumor has it there's a player that they've got in Inter Miami 2 right now that's probably that they're looking. Rumor has it that that's the player that might come on the roster for Inter Miami, and that's what they're going to use that for. I've also heard that.
Hang on, pause right there. So you're going to tell me we're going to pick, and I did read that there. I forgot what his name was, but I did read that as well. But you're going to tell me that a player on the 2 team is worth $100,000 already?
I was going to tell you that I don't think that's the reason, because why would they spend $100,000 on that spot unless it's probably somebody better or bigger.
Because otherwise, what's he doing there? Unless, because they didn't unless they just put him there for like a month or two. But I don't think they just got somebody, right?
Right. But that player is a cornerback or a left wing, I think, if I'm not mistaken, cornerback. He's a player, that we might need, but yeah, I just don't think that they're gonna, go. They could probably wait next year to get that player on if they really have to. But for me, there's got to be some other player that they're thinking about bringing in that could use that spot. That'll be worth it to bring that spot. So. There's a lot of rumors out there, players that might, come to Inter Miami, but I guess that I don't think it's going to go for that player. I think they've got somebody in mind. Hopefully it's a player that's going to help us out. I would love for it to be a center back. I think somebody put it in there because we need a good center back. That player that's on Inter Miami too, I believe, also plays that. So, or he's a winger, like I said. So it's interesting to see what's going to develop, man. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens, man. We got a little kid crying over here, so if you hear something, yeah.
Is it your kid? One of your kids?
No, it's the neighbor's kid over here. So
I had put up the comment. A new Weissman says somebody told me it's for Di Maria, but I'm still not believing it. No, he signed a deal with renewed with what? Benfica, I think it was.
Yeah, he signed with Benfica again for another year. So yeah. I don't think it's him. So there's also rumors that there's James could be another one. He was recently pictured here in South Florida.
But could they afford him? But could they?
Well, yeah.
So I don't think it's any big. My thoughts. It's not some big name player that you've probably even heard of. It could be another player like a Rojas or a Cello or these players that or a Martinez, right? So somebody like that's playing over in Argentina most likely, and because that's where we go, and is maybe on the bench, that's like Martinez was. And Cello, even Cello, like I read some article where he was giving a love letter to Tata, saying, Tata gave him a chance when nobody else would. He was kind of floundering over at where was he at Boca or River? I forgot. Yeah. Boca. I forgot which one. And so I think it would be somebody like that, somebody he's not even on your radar because money becomes an issue. They don't have the open checkbook of because MLS won't allow it for you to bring in somebody like James. And Mike V says James was here because James was here because of Copa America. I like saying it wrong because that's what it looks like to me. My brother's name is James.
He was here because of Copa America. Could be. Which is probably, I don't think they'd be able to afford him. He says he wants to go back to Europe, but maybe it's just for the 6 months that's left in the year that they're bringing in a player. So maybe they can make an arrangement with somebody and pay them more. I don't know what the roster space is right now. I mean the cap space that we have available, but they already
keep
spent
all that. And that's where Sports Shorts is asking. Is there a website for MLS where you can see all the cap info and salaries? NHL has one because it's hard to know what the cap is and how much space we have. No, it's all top secret. It's all top secret. They did put out something that, and I lost the link. They did put out something, and The Athletic had kind of tweeted it out, and I had it, but it didn't go into super great detail. It basically kind of gave you more the contracts and the expiration dates on all the contracts and all that, which that alone is sometimes hard to find. Yeah. So MLS and specifically Inter Miami are top secret on what they got. They don't even want to tell you who's hurt, right? So they keep everything close to the chest.
Yeah. So, well, I guess we're going to find out soon because, time is ticking and they just haven't announced anything yet, but hopefully it'll be sometime soon.
Eric Thomas says, your brother's name is James Brown, Peter Brown? No, we have different fathers. It's a different last name. My mother got a divorce. She got 2 sets of kids. 2 different daddies. So, different baby daddies.
That would have been funny.
Kata is saying that Cello is not good. I disagree. I think he's good. I like him.
I think he's done pretty well. I mean, he runs up that line pretty well. He's basically what's it
Winger.
called? Yeah, he goes up a lot, and you know, but he comes back in defense, so that's good. He's kind of like a Jordi Alba, but on the other side.
Yeah, I mean, that's the way, obviously, Tata wants them to play. You know, I was happy to see Negri come in. I thought Negri looked good. He finally got to get into a game. And, you know, I thought he was good. And he did the same thing. They all push up very, very high. That's clearly the tactics of you know, Tata. So
Tata likes for them to do that.
Yeah, I can't blame the player. Here, Tank is saying Cello is a gigantic improvement over Yedlin. Sorry, not sorry. I could agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
I
think he's done a good job. You know, replacing Yedlin. Though Yedlin's been doing good over at Cincinnati, right?
What? Yeah, I mean, he's starting. I know that. Apparently, they're saying that Matuidi did an appearance the other day. He's still on the salary. I mean,
I'd imagine not. I think they bought him out, right?
I think so.
A couple years ago. So yeah, that was a bad move for Inter Miami. It didn't work out.
Let's look.
Now Ian Frey. Let's see. They're talking about
Matuidi is not, according to the MLS player salary. He is not. So to answer like Sports Shorts, there is a website where you can go and find out what players' salaries are. But that's because the union posts that. But as far as how much wiggle room they have in the cap, we don't know. So, what were you saying, Ed, about Frey?
Oh yeah, I was going to say something about Ian Frey, but somebody had mentioned it, and I lost the.
So, Eric Thomas says, but Tank, Cello ain't an improvement over Ian Frey. And Kata says Frey is better. Eric Thomas says he's way better. So everybody likes Frey way more. I like Frey a lot too. Coconut Creek kid.
And he's younger.
So
he's younger, so that's a plus for him as well. He is a little fragile, but he's doing good so far, man. Hopefully he could keep that up and he won't get hurt. He won't be another. I even forgot the guy's name.
Mr. Glass?
Mr. Glass, yeah.
Robbie Robinson. How can you forget?
Robbie, yeah. How could I forget Robbie? I'd like to see if something comes out of his career, if he goes somewhere else and starts doing well. I thought he was good when he did play, but you know, he was just too fragile, man.
Yeah, exactly. I still believe, you know, in order to recoup his career, Robbie is go down to the championship, USL championship, and kill it. Mm-hmm. Build yourself back up, show that you have some strength in that body, and be like the top goal scorer in the league or something for any team. Doesn't matter.
Back. Yeah.
Jay Kington from the Inter Miami CF podcast says Ian Frey to Chelsea for $100 million. Sports Shorts asking, is Mr. Glass still injured? Yeah, but he's not our problem anymore because they bought out his contract. So he is not our problem. I'm sure they still got to pay for his insurance because, you know, just shortly before they bought out his contract, he had tweeted or posted somewhere a picture of his leg, like in some sort of, not a cast, but some sort of brace or something. Looked like he was in the hospital. So
wow,
you know,
yeah, that kid just, yeah, I think it's he may have to, you know, call it quits on his career because he's just hurt all the time, man. I don't think anybody's gonna go for him.
Yeah. One world, one goal saying, yes, USL for him. Eric saying about Frey, I'm not sure about. Oh, okay, whatever. Frey ticks both boxes, my brother. Offensively, he's massively better. Defensively, he's slightly better. Is he offensive? I don't find Frey to be offensive at all. I mean, he hasn't said anything. He hasn't said anything wrong. Has he done something wrong
He's
where he's offending people?
he's scored. So I
I
think
guess
he's
you didn't get my joke. It wasn't that funny.
no, I did. Yeah, I think it went right over my head, man.
Offensive, things are offensive. Don't get offended. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Guess it wasn't funny. Faxer Serini says we miss Messi. Yeah. But we still have a team, so cheer for him.
And our team's doing well without Messi,
Right.
so you can only imagine how much better it will be when Messi does come back.
Exactly. Good question here. One World, One Goal saying, Peter and Ed, do you think we blew the momentum for this league's cup to win? Blew the momentum. I mean, no. As far as the league's cup, I think they don't have to win every game. They just got to move on. So I don't think blow the momentum there. But the question too is, the way I would also read that is, does the league's cup interrupt their momentum for MLS Cup? That's kind of a good question as well, because you're kind of in the rhythm with MLS Cup and doing really well with that supporter shield. Does this potentially kind of mess that up? And that's why Tata was very big and adamant about he's going to rotate players. So that's why you saw CJ Dos Santos in the goal and all that kind of stuff. So,
and CJ did really well. He didn't get scored on, so I guess that's good for him, and gives him a little confidence. And Calendar can't do that though. Calendar gets scored on just about every game.
So you're going to blame Calendar for that, or our defense?
It wasn't his fault. I think in this case it was our defense, but I'm just saying that Dos Santos played once and he had a clean sheet, so I guess that's good for him.
Yeah, but I don't blame Calendar at all for this past game. But Tank is with you. He likes CJ.
He's on the CJ, and
I think here's what I think. I think Calendar is better at stopping shots. CJ is better at distributing the ball. He did a clearance that was like a pinpoint pass. So he definitely is better with his feet, but I think Calendar's better with his hands. Now, granted, I'm saying that with a very limited amount of seeing CJ Dos Santos. We've only seen him a few times here and there. We haven't seen him a whole lot, but Kata was asking, have we tried Moss Plus? So that's actually one of the things Ed and I were talking about. We plan on doing like a taste test video for that. We're thinking about doing it at the next home game, where we can do it and possibly grab some people from the crowd to get them a flavor to taste it as well. So I have it in my fridge.
Or down.
Thumbs up, right. I have it in my fridge, and my wife, so when I do the yard work, she does sometimes buy me some of those kind of Gatorade-y kind of drinks, because she's like, you probably need that more than just water. And so they're in the fridge, and she's like, why don't you just drink one of those? I go, no, I can't drink one of those. I got to wait and do it on a video. I don't want to fake my reaction. Like, oh, I've already tried it. I want it to be legit. So I have every flavor in my fridge, but I have not tried it yet.
I've been tempted to do it. Even my wife told me, because she noticed it was a Messi drink. Like somebody saw it, one of the kids or whatever, and I also thought about drinking, but I was like, no, I'm with you on that. I want the actual feeling, the taste buds to be surprised or disappointed. You know what I'm saying?
I've heard they're not that good, but so that's the only thing I'm going in. I've heard they're not that good. I heard there was like one decent flavor, but and I don't know which one that was. But One World, Peter, dedicated to his art. Yeah, you got to make content, right? We got to make some content. Oh, and you,
yeah,
and
we're slowing down a little bit. We've slowed down a bit, especially in the Spanish guys. Got to apologize for that. We've been running through some issues, but I think we should be back, if not this week, the following for sure. We got to get back on track.
Right, and there you go. We should be able to say this, that we have a new Spanish show every Monday. So that should be coming back, getting back into the rhythm.
We'll get back into it. Yeah.
Kata is saying, please do not try Inter Miami sub as of this time. What is that? What is the Inter Miami sub? Tell me more, Kata. I don't know what that is.
We'll definitely try it. Because that's something we do.
Jay Kington is saying, apparently White Claw owns Moss.
I would think that Moss is owned by Jorge Moss.
White Claw.
Oh, there you
go.
That's what I thought.
I mean, that's what it looks like, right? But I don't think that is necessarily. It is kind of a funny coincidence, right? That you know, it would be called Moss Plus, and the owner of the team is Moss. So
something to make you go, I don't know.
Kata is saying Publix Inter Miami sub has listeria because of Boar's Head at the moment. I didn't even know there was a Publix Inter Miami sub.
There's another video right there, Peter Brown.
If there's a Publix Inter Miami sub, I will get it. And okay, fine. If there's a problem with Boar's Head, I'll wait till Boar's Head's problem is done. I don't even know what listeria is, but I don't want listeria, whatever it is. Listerine, I'll use because, bad breath and all that kind of stuff. But then even there, I think I'm more of a scope kind of guy, not so much the Listerine, but, Faxer Suriti is asking as we finish up the show, do you want Inter Miami to play with Pachuca or Toronto? So, okay, we heard what I think it was Mike V had said. I think it was Mike V that said he wanted Pachuca. You want to play the better team. What do you think, Ed? Do you want to play the better team or do you want to play the easier team?
I'd actually want to do Pachuca because I think, it'd be a more interesting game. Toronto, I think will have like 10,000 people show up because we played them before and it's just not that interesting. Pachuca, on the other hand, there's a lot of Mexican fans that'll go and watch it. They'll come and support them. So it'll be interesting. I think I'd go for Pachuca too because it's unknown what will happen if we play them.
All right, so I'm going to go the opposite just because that's my nature. I want the easier path. I don't care about, you had to beat the best to be the best. No. I just want to lift the trophy. I don't care if it's the easiest path to the trophy. That's fine. Let's just lift another trophy. Give me the easier path. Give me Toronto. I know we play them all the time, what have you. I don't care. We could beat them for sure. Pachuca, who knows? I think I even saw somewhere in there that one of our people thought that we would lose the next game in penalties. So I don't know. But hey, people are appreciating my dad jokes today. I've got a couple of them I threw out there. Over Ed's head though. Ed didn't get them. Tank's liking them. I've got an apron in my house that I'll wear at like Christmas time or something like that, and it just says "Dad jokes loading." Okay. I don't know. What I want to get is the apron that says "Food Rocks" because that's an Epcot Disney thing, and you would only get it if you're a super Disney nerd.
Oh my goodness.
Eric Thomas saying, I'm watching too many Eddie Murphy videos today. Funny thing is, I was just on a flight. I was just in Medellin, just got back the other day, and I watched the new Beverly Hills Cop movie while I was on the flight. I had downloaded it on my iPad. New Eddie Murphy movie. I liked it. It was good. It's on Netflix. If you haven't seen it, it's on Netflix. It's good. Kata is telling me to get an Inter Miami apron. Do they have one?
I think they do. I think I saw one. Maybe Kingswear has it.
No, I've never seen it there. I don't know about that, Ed. I don't. Let's just look. Does any MLS team have an apron? No MLS team has an apron. I just did a quick search.
Well, okay.
Just did a quick search.
Well, somebody will now that they heard you talk about it. So somebody's definitely gonna want to
Eric
get
Thomas
their hands.
does not agree with me about the Beverly Hills Cop movie. I thought it was great. It was just like everything you want from a Beverly Hills Cop movie. Everybody shoots. Nobody hits anything except for your star. He hits every shot that he tries to make, but then there's like 50,000 rounds flying at him and nobody can hit him. I mean, that's classic 80s movie. It's kind of like a throwback. I loved it.
Peter, did you watch Wolverine?
No, not yet. No, I haven't been to the theaters. My daughter has a boyfriend. And so she went to see it with him.
Oh,
so that was
wow.
That was the person I was going to go with.
Kremovsky's out of the question, right?
Huh?
Now that she's got a boyfriend.
So what's Kremovsky? Yeah. I guess he's out. Yeah.
All your hopes and desires have just disappeared.
Yeah. Anyway.
Well, one of my daughters went to go see that movie Wolverine and Deadpool, and she didn't like it. But I think it's because she doesn't understand it. She's not like a big nerd like I am.
Okay.
You know, all these cameos and stuff like that. So I will wait until you watch it, Peter, so we can talk about it.
Yeah, I got to find time to go to the movie theater, and I'm sure my son has already seen it. You know, I've just had a very busy time lately, traveling and all that kind of stuff. So, I guess I could have done it today, but I don't even think my wife is really into seeing that. We went and bought a new ceiling fan. We went shopping for that. So, anyways,
that's good.
All right, Ed.
My wife is still doing her nails. Well, I think
doing
she's
her
done.
nails. It's like an hour later. Okay. Well, anyways, we got to end this, Ed, because I'm going to go into the other room and I'm going to watch Pachuca versus Toronto because it's starting right now. So everybody should go and watch that.
I'm going to go watch too. So we'll talk about it. And the next show, hopefully, well, I think they play on Thursday, right?
I'm not sure. Is that what it is?
I think they play, in the middle of the week. So if there is a game, it's going to be in the middle of the week.
All right. Oh, it looks like One World, One Goal is saying for me to shout out to Faxer, who is from Iraq. Oh, here he is.
Wow.
Faxer, I'm from Iraq, Kurdistan. Sorry if I say that wrong. It's about 3 p.m., but I'm watching your live because I love your videos and your lives too. MIA, the GOAT. Thank you so much, Faxer. If I'm saying you're right. I'm sorry if I'm screwing up your name, but that's kind of what I do. But I appreciate you watching this. Thanks.
I love that so many people from around the world, Peter, follow Inter Miami. That's, I think, everybody's team across the world. Everybody supports Inter Miami, and thank you for doing it, and thanks for watching us. We're, I think, the oldest. Combined our ages, we're probably the oldest people talking about Inter Miami.
Yeah, most of the people out there are a lot younger than we are. So, and now you're trying to combine our ages. Hell, geez, Ed.
Yeah, we're in the hundreds right now.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Thanks so much for watching. Jonathan Alvarado is asking, when is the next Leagues Cup game? We said it Thursday. So check it out Thursday. Thanks, everybody, for watching. We appreciate this chat. You guys are the best. Thanks so much. See you next week.